Okay, welcome back once again to Blue versus Red and the Combine, or known as Sobek versus Sun Wukong. On the screen this time around, we'll see Grazed Jixcol, Problem
Look at the
Haters,
group up.
Grayamar Llama, Too Many Apples, which I recognise, Oatmeal Nerd, Airy King, Bursto, and Pale Bid. A red team look like they've been working comms as a unit here.
Yeah, both those teams grouped up pretty well, and I think Red Team was really defending their warder because
Yeah.
honestly, Team Sobek has a much better level 1.
We've seen these wards almost every game today. Is the one at both blues. I mean, I'm not really sure how I feel about it because you could get the same information by putting that ward on the bottom blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, they're coming towards me right now, or hey, they're going to lane because that's what it shows you. What that ward doesn't sometimes show you is where they're necessarily starting. It gives you an idea,
Right.
but
I agree. I mean, if they position it near the mid harpies, where you generally like to see them, it gives you the vision of the rotation that could happen for the speed buff invade, as
Yep.
well. Like, it's an opportunity for them to do that. So, sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong way around. But yeah, it gives an opportunity to just see the rotation coming out from the jungler if he's going to rotate back for his speed or go for the enemy red buff for your
Right.
red buff. At the same time as the blue team only put one ward down at the mid harpies, having one of that blue entrants is a path that the jungler can come through if he does a fast rotation to the red buff in the early game, which means he could be a potential threat to the duo lane early on. So, interesting. Interesting to see. Ooh. Okay, the duo in the red side chose to do the blue and path safe around the back. They decided not to walk into lane.
Mhm.
They wanted to come the safe way around and just farm away underneath their tower. It's not a worse decision because it's Sylvanas Rama, who should be able to clear this before it hits the tower anyway, but it means he won't get caught in a weird rotation or, an all-in strat from Ymir Apollo, which can happen.
Yeah,
Right.
too many apples in the mid took way too much poke there. I feel like he tried to save 3 minions worth of gold and took half his life. Health is incredibly important in these early game fights in mid.
The Agni sees. See, this is a common misplay by some players is they show that they know the jungler is there by just auto attacking them and standing still. Let the jungler waste his time. Let him lose a little bit of XP. Let him think that he has the upper hand, and then maybe look to turn something.
Yeah, and that was a great. You see that great early ward. He knows that Thor's incredibly strong early, and that he's probably going to be dashing wave. So that ward was dropped there early for them to recognize the rotation.
Backwards and forwards lane coming out. Ymir and Apollo trying to give as good as he gets against Sylvanas and Rama, but Sylvanas and Rama, you know what they're like. The sustain is real. And now that they've got the push on, they're actually looking for a rotation to speed buff with this
Yeah,
Nemesis.
but they can't do that. Thor and Vulcan are already there setting up. Nemesis is trying to come in, but she's alone. This is pretty risky. Early
Very
hog,
risky.
but it doesn't matter. They're still going to secure.
Nice meatball. Puts him in a bad spot. Agni does come over.
Oh, great
yeah.
pull. This
Oh,
could be
pull.
first blood.
That pull was huge, but Nemesis on the front line is going to get backed up again. Full disengage, nobody gets anything out of that at all, honestly, because nobody's lost an experience from either side. Technically, Nemesis is behind, but she'll soak away in mid, get red buff, she should still be about the same level then.
Mm-hmm.
Thor will hit 5 quicker though.
Yeah, and he's going to back there. He's going to buy boots, too. I'm sure he has over 1,000 gold in hand. Probably. Oh, just shy, so he's not going to be able to buy boots, too. That's an interesting back. I almost would have rather saw him grab the other set of back harpies as Ymir's in a lot of trouble.
Again. The pull again from Sylvanas lands. Pull is one of the hardest abilities in the game to land in all honesty
Easily.
because of the speed of it. And to land 2 so significantly, so quickly. I know Ymir's technically a bigger target than most with his character model, but it's still not that easy to do
No.
in fairness.
Yeah, the hitbox is very small. And, ooh, we're going to see Nerd go up. That
The combo.
was well played by both of them. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
The communication between those two was fantastic. Them to let him know that I'm going to go into the sky if you land the route. Whichever way that went round, either Sylvanas like, you got ult, I'm going to root him and you're going to ult him. Or it's going to be Rama says, I'm going to ult and you're going to root him and we'll kill him.
Yeah,
And it played out perfectly.
I mean,
for
the
him.
Rom trusted. He was up in the air before the root came out. The second Rom hit the tip of his ult, Sylvanas instantly rooted. This dual lane's playing really well right now.
And then straight away you saw that Sylvanas rotate straight to the mid lane, get mid harpy, soak up experience there as well. He's skirting on the couch. Oh, he gets
Another
a root
pull.
again.
This guy does not mess around. I don't really like the dash into tower by Oatmeal, but they managed to get away with it. Obviously.
Is that Jeff Hindler? Like, is he jumped on a Smurf or something? Because
Whoa.
that was really impressive.
Who's Jeff Hinlaw?
I've never heard of that guy.
Oh, he's a Canadian. You'll hear him one day.
Oh, Canadian? Oh yeah, I don't pay attention to Canadians.
You don't follow the Canadian meta.
No, I don't follow the Canadian meta. I'm strictly North America.
I understand. It makes perfect sense to me. But those 3 kills that we can see in this game right now are all down to you, Sylvanas, so far, in fairness.
Yes.
Sylvanas has been implemented in all 3 of those. That's really, really nice play from him. Ramad's done very, very well for himself in that. Got Devour's Gauntlets online nice and early too. Checking in with solo lane, because we not really spoke about it. Yeah, it's Osiris versus Hercules.
We've seen this matchup all day.
It's
Hercules, Shock Osiris, Chalk Hercules.
Warriors are back, you know? Warriors are back, and that's what solo's about, so it's hard to show. But I like Hercules' itemization choices so far. I'm not sure about the meditation so early, especially with the blue buff. Like, meditation, it works, okay? I'll agree it works, but blah. That's my viewpoint on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't get it so early. If you're going to get it, you should probably get some of your more core items online first and then pick it up.
His itemization choices, though, I do like at the moment. Curse Blade and Smithy's Hammer. He is against a Nemesis, though, so maybe a Wing Blade would have been better for him in this situation. We'll see.
Is he going to hit the pool again? He's going to... Oh, he missed it. He actually hit the root, too, but just a little bit off on the pool.
So Team Minneapolis did something in mid there just at the end when you saw the Nemesis rotating in. He hit the meatball instantly. She walked around the corner. My only concern with that is you should never really want to give away positioning of a ward, because they should know there's a ward on that right-hand side of the map now. Because of the fact that they did walk around the corner.
I want to be honest, I feel like they have too many wards. I feel like they've wasted too much gold on wards on this right side, especially if these are going to end at the same time. We can't really see that from here. But if these wards end at a similar time, it's too much vision. You're going to get the same information.
I mean, shut Nemesis down early causes her a few issues, you know? But when you talk about trying to shut her down, Ymir might be the one that's going to be the casualty of war now because of that. He's dead. There's no escape for him. The Duke was really nice from Nemesis there as well.
Yeah, we're going to see this Agni dash in once again. He's using his dash very aggressively, which sometimes it works, but you have to be very careful with it. Vulcan trying to defensively ult here, and he's just going to get picked rotating in.
I don't know.
Watch a pull. I'm waiting for it.
I think they're going to go for gold. No, I think Rom wanted to do gold. I think the rest of the team is just securing both mid harps.
So we're about 6.5 minutes in. Up about 2K gold. Who are you guys looking at right now to, be a very strong player?
To be a very strong player, I mean, from what I've seen so far, Sylvanas Rama combination have been very, very strong together. Sylvanas more than the Rama, in fairness.
I agree.
The comms between the two have been fantastic.
Yep.
Graham Lama, I've not really seen him do too much just yet, but the play he made to help keep Vulcan alive then was actually pretty impressive. He walled through, hit 3 of them with it to make sure Vulcan bought some time, and then he ulted into it to save Vulcan again to continue defending his teammate. So even though he's not been aggressive yet, that play was very, very defensive and nicely done to support his team.
You know, considering right now, this solo lane Osiris is doing a great job. Normally don't watch solo lane, but it's only 7 minutes in, no gold theory, and he has a 500 gold lead. They're both 0-0-0. That's incredible. So he's doing a great job of controlling this lane right now.
Really bottling the Hercules in that lane. Now, you may have started rotations, and I'm just going to keep an eye on Sylvanas to see what he chooses to do. He's got a 2-level lead on this Ymir now. That's generally down to the rotations to the mid camps, and he's also been picking up the assists everywhere pretty much, and soaking as much experience as possible. So I want to see how Ymir gets himself back into it. I want to see what Sylvanas tries to do to try and continue his pressure.
Nemesis gets a little caught out here. Thor's in the air. Yeah, they're just going to finish that off.
Shame about that ultimate from Sylvanas. He tried to ult as Ymir ulted to make sure he picked it up. Now Sylvanas is caught out of position. He's alone. Good route.
No teleport. I'm surprised.
Wow, clean up from Oatmeal.
Oh, there's another pull.
And there's Rama going to this guy for the snipes again. Oh. Rama Sylvanas played him out. Apollo comes in with a hot rotation. But
did he hit all 3?
He did hit all 3, and then he also cleans up that graze as well on the Ymir. That should be a Gold Fury attempt right now coming out. They've only got Hog 2, but they've got 2 Hog 2s because Nemesis is there as well. Actually, no. That's a lie. Nemesis is not there. She's respawning.
Yeah, Apollo's low mana too. 97. He can use 1 ability. That's it.
I like the rotation from Osiris there. He realized that fight was spiraling out of control, and he forced Herc back. He rotates over.
Agni did a great job of zoning there.
Again, Sylvanas, he he didn't panic, and he made sure he was kiting, and he was running away from his team, but at the same time he was avoiding the damage that would have killed him. And then when the time was right, he ran back to his team for the help, and he stayed alive for it.
Can we roll it back a little bit just to before that fight happened? Just out of interest, I wanted to keep an eye on these. Just about here, let's check out Rama and Apollo, because these two end up in this fight, and it's interesting to see how they end up in this fight. All in all, the fight's about to break out in a few more seconds.
Yeah, it's right there where Nemesis is kind of just standing there. So
look at the duo. Look at the duo. Sorry, the duo lane. That's the important thing. We've already seen that fight over there. We talked about what they did. How do these two hunters end up in this fight? They're both actually going to poke each other out and stop each other from rotating. But who's going to be the
I
one
feel like
that
the
doesn't
Apollo
rotate?
right here should have ulted. He should have just given up the wave and gone to the team fight. I think that was more.
The fight's still going.
Yeah.
So I like Nerd's play. He stops Apollo from leaving the lane. Then he rotates first. He turns up to the fight, and then we'll see him land all 3 snipes. Apollo is now up in the air at the same time as Rama gets this guy too. And Rama has a bigger impact on this fight.
Yeah, it was very good decision making by the Rom, and he really I want to say just outplayed the Apollo in terms of rotation.
For sure. I feel like the Apollo should have just given up that wave. I think the team fight was more important. He was a little bit late to it. And if he had been there faster, he might have been able to save some of his team.
Well, Sylvanas should have been dead.
That
If
too.
Apollo rotated quicker, Sylvanas should have been dead. They should be able to clean him up as a whole. But Red Team are in control of this game. It was nice. Agni's been overlooked a little bit in this game, I feel, so far, but he's not played badly at all so far.
I feel like he's trying to be. You were talking about too aggressive. He's had some dashes that were very questionable in my mind. Like there was a 4-minute one where he dashed under tower on a secured kill already. All he had to do was bomb instead of dash, but he dashed into tower, took about half his health. He didn't really get punished for it, but he easily could have.
Oh, we're about 9.5 minutes in. We've got mid-camp spawning again soon. Golf, who's just gone in their favour. Well, we're about 10 minutes in, and this is looking a bit one-sided right now.
Yeah.
But let's bring it to the scout. Zindan, you're back with us on the channel now. You've been watching this game through, buddy. Are you there?
I am.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. That was a really, really fantastic game to watch. I think it's the best game I've actually watched today.
Wow. So who are your standout players? Because I can definitely see mine already.
Exactly, like the whole early game with Sylvanas and Rom was just spectacular to watch because they had absolute synergy, they had great mechanics, and they just set up a lot of kills for their teams. And they were really, really great on their rotations as well as their mechanics. So they put a lot of pressure on the enemy just by, doing what they're supposed to. Especially the early kill with the setup between Rom ult and Sylvanas root. I was so impressed by that. I was just sitting like, woo!
That was a big list of that was a comms thing between the two, but they also both had to know the moves was down on Apollo as well to be able to make sure that worked perfectly for it. So really nicely done from the team. Was there anyone across the way that you saw that was that stood out for you at all?
Like the ones that stood out for me, most of all, Sylvanas. Sylvanas played nigh perfectly. If he claimed to be a SPL player, I would not doubt them. Like, across the way, he hit so many poles, he hit so many roots, he peeled for his team a lot, he did the right rotations. So, like, the MVP of this match is definitely Sylvanas. And then
on the blue team, would you say anybody from there that, had potential that showed up to you at all?
I mean, Vulcan was actually really, really solid mechanically, and he did land some really good ults, but the problem was the team was already so far behind, it didn't really matter once he landed all those big areas.
Makes sense. You can see once again an ult coming out from that Sylvanas as well, who Dindo was the one that thinks is the one to be scouted for sure. It's a big shout out though to say that it was SPL level plays in fairness, so maybe...
Well, it definitely was, because he was just landing everything, basically.
Powerbid. Keep an eye out for that name, guys.
2 things.
This just ends. Zendern's looking for new support.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
One thing we need to talk about, because it's very hard to watch because there's just Bruiser versus Bruiser, nothing really happens. Which one of these solo laners really transitioned into doing well? Because from the looks of it, though, Asai really dominated this lane, even though there was no kills in it early.
Yeah, it's really hard with solo lanes because at this point it's just a slap fest for 10 minutes and then they rotate and kill the hunters. So I mean, the solo lanes weren't bad, but they didn't really stand out either. Even in the team fights, it was still the Sylvanas, the Rom, and maybe the Agni who did the most of the work. So I don't think there's really anything that stood out in the solo.
How do you feel about? Were you in their comms at all, or did you just watch the game without listening to them?
I was in the comms of blue team.
Okay. Did anyone was anyone shot calling good? Anyone keeping the
No,
upbeat
there
tempo?
wasn't any there wasn't any particular shot caller as I was hearing, and they had one of the really sad things that happens when you get behind. You kind of get this depressed mood, and it's even in top level play. This is hard to get rid of.
Yeah, for sure.
You kind of hit the slump, and instead of thinking of what you should do from this point out, you think of the things you could have done before, which is not constructive. Quite the opposite, actually.
Okay.
We're
Also,
just watching the end of this fight, but
Yep.
I think this one will be coming to an end for us now. Thank you, Zindan, and enjoy the rest of this scouting.
Yeah, I'm back.
Looks like you get some good games.
Yeah, this was definitely the best game for me. Like the Rom and Sylvanas. I honestly hope they end up in teams together because that was a joy to watch.
Well, it'll be interesting to
Okay.
see if something does come like that out of it. That's cool to see. Thanks a lot, man. Guys, we'll be right back after a little break and we get ourselves loaded into the next game for you to bring you some more highlights from the next one.
So we're back into this game, guys. We're going to be seeing Team Surkhet take on Team Mercury. We have CV playing Nox in the middle lane, FG Hammer in the solo on Osiris. The Tickle Mafia going to be playing Rom in the duo. Tuki, I believe, going to be jungling Hun Bats, and then Jose will be supporting on Sylvanas. Let's see if he can live up to the last guy we saw, Poboid.
Yeah, Boboid. So we're going to see Starkey, Sonic Booms, Jawari B. I think we've seen him before as well. Banty, Hunter Red, and Shootable on the other side. And already, we've seen a lot of aggression coming out from Blue Team. The group warding with Sylvanas, looking for a pick early on. I mean, with the amount of damage they've got, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they definitely got the stronger early one. It's smart of them to definitely look for it. And we're seeing a lot of the team's group, which is something you really want to see. Because typically, even like most normal games, you won't see it. You can tell that all these players came to play competitive. They're all grouping level 1.
That's the thing, like ranked games, you don't even see it that much unless the ranked players all know each other, you know? And then in these sort of games, like it's technically like a solo queue ranked game. And yeah, it's kind of difficult for you to realize that, but you've got to try and play at a competitive sort of mindset with this one. So grouping is kind of standard in competitive play. So I'm glad to see that these teams are adapting to that for the most part and attempting to do that.
Now, is CV one of the players who played with some of the Cognitive Red guys in one of the official arena tournaments as well? Is that the same player, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I'm not sure. I know they played with Jaja, but I'm not sure about CV.
I think it was
I've seen
Jaja
him in
and
ranked.
CV.
He is a
Invasion.
good player. Yep.
Invasion right hand side coming out really nice from Osiris and the Hun Bats as well. Going to zone out Vermana and Nemesis.
They need to double hog this now if they want it.
Well, they've got hog too. So that should go. Oh wow, they actually do double hog it, take it away from Stacy, who actually, sorry, Starkey, who did use the hog as well. So his hog's on cooldown as well there.
Yeah, and you see they're just a little bit off of level 2 there.
That's really going to put that dual lane behind. I like the invasion because generally that's a competitive sort of invasion that you'll see, and normally in solo queue you don't always do that.
Yeah, and that it's kind of a weird play you see come out, right? Because they knew that the Vamana had hog, and they still went for it anyways when the Osiris did not have it himself. I think they were much rather looking to fight there than necessarily get that buff.
I think we should see the Hun Bats rotate out. I don't think there's anything he needs to be doing here, and he just needs to rotate out. This Osiris is taking a lot of poke.
I'm okay with Bat Stain just because Osiris doesn't have a hog available, and the blue buff needs to be taken as well as his red buff. So him hanging around for maybe one more wave is not bad because he's still going to have to drop the blue for FG and Hammer on this Osiris at some point, and he's still going to take down the red buff anyway. So, you know, hanging around for one more wave isn't the worst thing in the world to do.
He did it poorly, though. He went to the blue buff, realized he should have split. See, they should have definitely cleared the wave and then went to blue. Instead, they fought, the wave came, and they kind of wasted a lot of time. Meanwhile, Nemesis will rotate. She is pretty far behind, though, having that blue buff stolen. Not even level 3, and it's almost 2 minutes.
You know,
well, there was one thing about Vermana as well, just to note that as well. Like, when you're playing Vermana, you want to max your Umbrella rank, but it costs a lot of mana, and so he's really going to get bullied in this lane brutally.
And taking a look at the duo lane, you know, they had a lot of early control. It's a little surprising that they didn't try to get that red buff when the jungler stayed in solo so long.
Yeah, just look at the pressure between those two. I mean, it's Sylvanas and Rama, so they should be keeping the pressure onto this duo lane. Potentially, they could have looked for an invasion onto the red buff, which is kind of standard that you'd normally see out of very, very strong duo lanes. But I guess, you know, the Apollo Geb combo have done a good job of keeping it secured enough that they couldn't really invade. Sylvanas' decision to go for the speed buff here, I like the decision to go and soak experience off this. Just because Bats is going to hit 5 anyway because of the extra invasion they did earlier on.
Ooh, we actually see... Let's see how that happened. We actually missed that here. The Osiris is going to solo the
surprised by this.
I mean, without the blue... I mean, look right now. And the kill doesn't happen for another minute, and he has no mana. So he's just going to get poked and pressured. I feel like the Vamana should have just backed and taken a loss of a wave.
Yeah, he had to, really. I mean, it's going to be level 3 versus level 5, and that's why he's going to die. Well, level 4 versus level 5, as you can see. No mana to escape.
Did he not even level up his dash? I don't think he had his dash leveled up.
No, he did have a point in his dash. He had a point in his dash.
Okay.
He didn't have the mana for it, though, however, because it was 70 mana, and he died with 59.
Oh.
So that's the issue.
I forgot how low his base mana... Like, visually, like, I looked at it visually, I was like, oh, he has enough.
Yeah.
But he has so low base mana that he just didn't have enough, you're right.
Well, his abilities actually cost a lot more than a lot of people realize on Vermont, and that's one of his weaknesses, is that, you know, if you lose the blue buff, it can really cost you in the lane.
Now, I mean, just look at the golden XP difference just after this first blood alone at the 3-minute mark. Blue team really showing their strength here, and a lot of that's coming on the back of CV. He was a full like level and a half up on the Agni at one point, and he didn't even go to that speed buff. So he's doing a really great job of just getting some farm all over the map. He's, you know, got the back harpies, he's shared red buff, and he's just been pushing this lane incredibly hard, which is something that's hard to do against an Agni.
He's 200 gold up, and he doesn't have an assist. At 3 minutes. That's a great job of farming. Like, you see that Agni just backed as the waves were coming to meet, so he's going to lose that entire mid wave also. So a little bit poor back timing from him. Meanwhile, CV, and they're gonna aggress onto the speed. Yep. There's no reason why they shouldn't.
They know when it's up. They've got a ward in position for it. But so it's like the red team has a ward in position. Hombat ult comes out.
A little questionable pull. You didn't really need it.
This is a turnaround. This is a big turnaround.
Wow. The burst damage just wasn't there to pick him up inside of that Hunbat's ult, and Nemesis was able to get out and pick up a nice kill.
So Apollo rotated
have his
over
line
with ult, but he ran out of mana. You can't really rotate with Apollo ult that well early. CV doing a great job of juking. He might get out of this. That Apollo doesn't have enough mana to do anything.
Wow.
No one has enough.
I'm not a fan of him backing there, but he will get away with it.
Oh, Osiris, meantime, will get picked up with the Nemesis ult, and, you know, there's not really much he could do with Lord of the Afterlife.
That was a great turnaround from Red, though. Fantastic.
Yeah, Red made that all happen themselves. I think some of that came down to Humbat's ultimate positioning.
It pushed him away.
He pushed him away instead of towards his team, which would have secured it, which allowed Agony, because the team were chasing in, to funnel them into a gap.
For sure.
And then Geb got the ult off as well, so it was a nice combo from them. Then we saw FG have to come in to help out his teammates because they got themselves in a bad spot, and FG is the one that ended up paying the price as well, and goes down for it, and that helps out Vamana a little bit, at least because he got some push on and denied Osiris some of that farm. Good
he got his
from
blue
Vamana
too.
as well.
Like the way that fight happened just as his blue was coming up. So after Osiris died, he didn't have to worry about getting it contested, because I guarantee you he would have had that contested, and the Osiris would have won without rotations.
Yeah.
I think the rotation was great, but it just didn't work out. It was really, really nice to play from Red.
I agree.
What I really like about that play is they knew that they were looking to steal that speed, and they four-man rotated to it and made sure they defended it, and then they just turned it around.
Agni didn't even walk to his lane.
Right.
He knew what was going to happen. Ooh, he could be in trouble here. That won't kill him. That's not enough damage.
Yeah. Only just. I did like CV's positioning on that Nox, though, because he was actually looking to go around the back if he hugged the wall too much. And with that stun, he could have just thrown the 3 over the wall and tried to confirm the kill with that after the stun. But he didn't realize it wasn't. He's just going to rotate back. But mid harpies are up. I like Geb's decision to go for the right ones because he knows that he's not going to have Agony mid. But good news is Bats is there to secure those.
Yeah, they're going to get both. So even with those 2 turnaround kills, they're still up 1,300. They've grabbed 3 of the 4 mid harpies, and they're in really good position. Nemesis actually dashed in there, so you can't really keep following up. It's kind of, you kind of want to be careful with using your abilities in the jungle like that, your movement abilities.
Well, Rama saw this rotation coming and made a misplay. He's
I don't
now
like
in the
this.
sky
Why is
trying to buy
Hunbat's
time.
backing? Why is Hunbat's backing?
Oh, that Cataclysm was too early from Geb and Rama actually is going to escape because the ultimate went off just before Geb misplayed there. If he landed the ultimate,
Hmm.
he was dead.
It's really hard to time if the Rom has us 3 up that fast.
I
I
know,
don't.
but he didn't roll. He didn't roll.
Oh, okay.
He just basically, as he landed, Geb ulted, but he didn't ult at the correct time, so the stun went off
Oh.
before the landing happened, and
Okay.
he just walked out. So,
Got it. I didn't
yeah,
happen to catch that.
unfortunate.
I was looking
It's
at
not-
Humbat's not backing for some reason.
It's okay. It's kind of difficult because it's like, do you forgive him because of oh wow, this pressure?
Oh,
Yeah, nice damage. Just enough. Half a second later, and he would have gotten out of there.
That was good bait from Rama. Rama actually just went in and went toe to toe at a losing situation, but he realized that his jungler was coming. So good presence of mind to keep the pressure on and bait as well as he did. It put Apollo in the bad spot.
Yeah, so I kind of want to take a look at itemization. This Osiris had interesting itemization because they went for the early invade. You actually saw him go hammer, heavy hammer, and now he's building into Cursed Blade.
Witchblade going to be very good against Nemesis. It's also going to deal with Amana very well and Apollo. 3 gods that do require auto attacks. So no auto attack speed down.
I'm not a fan of this Sylvanas' pulls. He just pulled a point-blank Vamana. Like, I know it kind of stuns him for the duration, but it really wasn't
It
needed.
does stun. It stuns before it pulls. So I don't agree with it either in that situation, but it can work out, I guess. If he was thinking if he's going to run away immediately, he can pull it out.
This is
of the stun.
interesting. I don't think they can't two-man this. I don't think.
This is a
yeah,
good
but
call. This is a good call.
Apollo's
going to come in here.
Rom's going to be able to go in the air though, and might actually find this
And
kill
Bass
on
is
them.
coming.
His ult, yeah, his ult
Bass is
is
coming
up.
too.
He's not even going to waste it. I
There
feel
it
like he
is.
should have went in the air.
If he gets out, that's a really good play. Snipe it, snipe it, snipe it, snipe it. Rama should have ulted then. Rama should have ulted, and they've lost the kill.
Yeah,
because
he's
of it.
holding it for a really long time. Yeah, he held it for a really long time, but they did pick up the kills they needed there. Humbat's is in a lot of trouble. He needs people to
got
peel
Agony
for him.
coming in too. Agony could have come in there with Vermont as well. Vermont did have ultimate available, but they chose to disengage. I like Red Team's call. The team
that
from
was
the
great.
duo lane and the jungler made a really good call to go for the Gold Fury because they saw the team on the other side of the map. What does that do in terms of golden experience though? Well, it cuts the gold back to almost even, but then the Harpies are going to go in favor of blue team again.
Osiris rotating behind Agni. His dash is down. He could... he might have been able to commit on that, but I guess the team was in the area.
So
So, a bit patient right now. I mean, there's not a whole lot in this one to. I mean, once again, it's for Mana versus Osiris. I think Osiris and Humbat's played that very, very well early on. It's not often we get to talk about the solo laners, but I think Osiris has played this pretty well for the whole game.
Yeah.
He turned up to the team fight when he was required, even though he didn't have to an extent. He did sacrifice his life for the team. He didn't really want to, but can he get out of this problem? That's the next question.
yeah,
He's
he's
fine.
not going to have any issue here. He's actually looking to get a little aggressive. His
He
team's
should-
rotating.
I feel like he should be turning on the Vamana, not wasting time on the
Yeah,
Nemesis there.
he could have played that a little bit more like he was scared to
Oh,
fight
he's
that.
dead. I don't get that Nemesis ultimate because he just
He's
ulted
gone.
randomly
He's
after the
committed
max
to death
rotation.
here. That's
What's the team doing?
It's a little
Where's
risky,
Blue?
yeah.
Where's Blue not in there yet?
they're
Blue's
focusing
hesitate
on
too
a
much,
blue
now
buff.
Agony's here.
There they go. Great Sylvanas ult to knock them both up. They should both fall to the
Oh,
dot
the
here.
Nox ult was beautiful as well, and Jose's going to pick up a double kill.
That was a little sketchy from like they obviously turned that around, but that was very
Both
indecisive
teams.
decision making. Poor communication. Like we talked about before, this is 5 random players on a team. They weren't exactly sure what they wanted. They should have committed to diving, even though Nox was trying to steal blue.
It was a very strange one because Blue team should have committed to that earlier. They had the 4-man rotation over it,
Mhm.
and in taking so long, Agony managed to get to that fight. Bad news for Agony, he didn't notice Nox didn't go into that fight, so got picked off from Nox as he rotated in himself, and so Red team lost 3 kills from it, which it really should have. It could have gone the other way around, honestly. If Agony spotted Nox out, that could have been Agony cleanup crew, honestly.
Yeah. Who's standing out to you right now? I'm giving. I don't see anyone fantastic like we've typically been seeing in game, but I think CV is doing a great job, and same with FG Hammer on Team Surkhet. I think they're doing a great job of holding their own right now.
TV and FG Hammer, yeah, they're standing up for me. The Rama's not misplaying as such. Actually, that's a lie. I mean, he made a mistake in the way he should have. He saw a ward and he stayed around too long. He could have ulted and picked up a kill. He's missing opportunities. I wouldn't say he's a terrible player or a bad player. He's
Just
a
missing,
few
yeah,
things that he definitely,
missing stuff that
he
you
just
want to
needs
take
work on a few
advantage.
little
Yeah,
bits.
if you're a competitive player, you want to take advantage of others' mistakes, and if you're not
That's right.
doing that, you're taking away chances for your team to win.
And Jesse on the Sylvanas hasn't played badly at all either. Like I've not seen too many. Sorry, Jose on the Sylvanas hasn't made too many mistakes at the moment. But he might be sat at the
Gebel.
wayside watching his run. If he can pull through the wall to defend his player, this could be good. This would be hype. Is he gonna pull? Pull.
He's waiting.
Pull.
No, he's got
Oh,
the
the
blink.
blink?
He's looking for the ult.
He's not gonna save him because Sylvanas in the sky. Sorry,
I think the Sylvanas is using his pool in really poor positions. That's the third or fourth pool that I felt like just was not needed and was wasted. He once again pulled the Nemesis when she was right next to him, and then the Nemesis just dashed out right after immediately because his dash was still up. You want to try and catch it when the dash goes off after they use their movement ability.
I do like his decision though, like to blink over the wall and try and
Yes,
defend.
that was
It
great.
not. He nearly kept the Rama alive with it overall, and now his team is there for the cleanup crew, and even FG Hammer's here. I love the fact that we're seeing this FG Hammer. You
They should
mentioned
commit
it
to this
first.
tower. There's no reason they can't get this tower. Yep.
Well, it's a 1-for-1 trade. It's a good trade, and FG Hammer's abusing the fact he's got this advantage over the Vamana in lane, and he's rotating to support his team and apply more pressure. Plus, the Gold Fury's up soon too.
Yeah, so that was
he's
great.
well aware of
They
his
shouldn't be
timings.
backing at all. Meanwhile, Vamana's split pushing. This is the right decision for him. I don't think he's going to be of big use, but he does need to recognize that Gold Fury is coming up. He should be backing. Yeah, there he goes. He needs to back and then get to mid and get ready for Gold Fury. He can't push a tier 2 tower here.
Harpies again. So everyone's
Great
pretty
ward
much
coverage
as
from
it
Blue
stands.
across the map.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is Nox is leading the way as a mid laner as well. It's nice to
That's
see
incredible.
that mids
That's
are buying
great.
the wards
That's
and
great
covering
to
it.
see.
So Nox is leading the way for her team. It's all down to Geb pretty much on the side of red. Agony on 3, so half the wards bought of Nox.
They're all grouped. This
But
is a really good
look
fight
at Nox's
for red.
positioning. Look at Nox's positioning. She's sat at the back. She's not going in deep. She's poking from the back line. Still, so she backs out again and again, avoiding damage. Still poking. Still getting damage off. Waiting patiently for the next
Ooh, that
opportunity
Rom
with a 3.
played that really well. That was an
Rom did play well.
incredible. That was really poor positioning. Oh, the turnaround. They're dead. Vamana's gonna go up and all. Great Geb shield though.
Great Geb shield. That was a really big Geb shield. Is CV going to die there? Oh, the silence is going to buy seconds, so Agony can't do anything. And Agony has to back out. CV played that really well, even though his team collapsed around him.
This Apollo should not have backed. They needed him for
That should
this.
have been
He has
gold.
lifesteal. There's no reason for him
Geb
to
has to
back.
reset it now. This
This
Where's
Agni
Agony
shouldn't be
going?
mid either. They need to yeah. They even have a ward. They have a
miscommunication.
ward right there where they saw CV run into his tier 2. They should have known.
Yeah.
It looks like they're gonna get
Yeah.
it, but
They'll get it, but a lot later than it should have been.
yes.
A lot later. Should have been about another minute earlier than that, in fairness, by how long that took them to bring
Yeah,
that one
the
down.
Apollo backed with 60 stacks on his Devos, and yeah, but they did get it. I think that was great. Geb got caught, but that was a great job on holding his ult until his team came in, and then the second they were all grouped, the Agni was in perfect position to follow up, and that's really what they won the fight off of.
At the moment, with how this stands, I mean, my standouts personally, from what I've seen, CV on this Nox feels very, very strong to me. And as does FG Hammer. Like, they really are the two. How do you feel, Dennis?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think they're the standout stars. Do we have the... Okay. So we do have the scout for this game, Dignitas Karma, coming in. I believe he's a writer for them, right? I know he's always watching the SPL as well. So Karma, who did you look at when you saw this game?
Honestly, I think I looked at the Nox quite a lot. She was consistent in her mid play and was constantly warding mid lane, very safe, but would always be in the team fights doing plenty of damage, keeping the team going and taking off the easy targets and keeping the team fights going, I suppose.
Yeah, we felt like she had really good positioning. The second player we felt that was really good was the Osiris. How'd you feel about the Osiris, FG Hammer?
The Osiris played very well. Like with the heavy hammer start, he invaded well. He capitalized on it quite well, and they took the blue buff, and that was just hell for the Vamana. He couldn't really do much then, and then he knew what he could do, and the Vamana wasn't really sure what he could do in the solo lane. He seemed quite uncomfortable, and they knew that they could capitalize on that as well. And so they kept pressure on the Vimana, especially with the first blood. It was quite sort of simple for him then. And I also quite like the Ram in this game,
Okay.
especially in the sort of later game. He was hitting his ults quite well, was cleaning up the team fights where he could, and he would always just mow down the front line. I really liked that.
Was there anyone on red side that noticed that, came to your attention at all, or, you had your eyes on at any point in the game?
It was tough. Like, there was some good plays coming out of them, but they sort of just started to... I was listening to their comms a bit, and they just sort of started to fall apart. They started to lose their morale. And it is tough playing from behind like that, especially with people you don't know amazingly. And, well, they're not a proper team, obviously. It's just the Combine. But they did try and keep their morale up. Some of them were quite positive.
Agony, though. Agony, for me, seems to be the one that stands out the most. I think his name's Shootable, yeah. Shootable seems to be the one that stands out the most for me on this team. He seems to be putting forward a lot of pressure. He seems to be escaping a lot of bad situations, and that's when I just saw them. He didn't.
Yeah, I think his big thing, too, is he's always committing to fights. So that's something that you do have to worry about, especially if you're a newer team or a team trying to get better, is a lot of times you'll have players not full-on commit to fights. There needs to be a caller, and there needs to be 4 people who go for it no matter what, with a little bit of change. If you're in the fight but then have to back out, that's one thing. But if there's people like that's a bad call and they just sit back, the Agony was always in every fight no matter what.
Well, thanks, Carly, for coming along, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the scout. If there's anything left to do today.
I'm done for today.
Done for today? You on tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm on tomorrow for EU.
I'm sure you'll see you again for EU tomorrow. Guys, we'll be right back with another one as soon as we've got it loaded up and ready for your viewing pleasure. Welcome back, Combine continuation once again. Team Tear versus Team Noir. Blue team will be Vulture, Moose, Final K, Mystic, Profile, Devil of Death. So across the way, we'll see our Lace 19. Unique, recognizable name there for sure. Fool's Doll, Drifter X, and Trauma Hunter. And Geb could get caught out. Oh, the health potion pop from Rama. I'm calling it again.
No.
Health potion pop from Rama, and he's just stood there like, guys, I just popped health potion.
Yeah.
He literally stood still and went, I hate my life. I saw that game get casted earlier, and I've just done the same thing. I hate my life.
And that just hurts you so much too as an ADC. There's really nothing you can do about it once it happens. It's just like, man, now I'm playing from behind. I'm already behind before the game even starts, right? It's almost like giving up first blood. Let's be real.
It's painful. I mean, it's not the worst thing. There's worse things that could happen. Like you could pop your health potion and then die.
It's like getting hit by first auto. It's that kind of bad.
Have you ever been in that situation where you're like 2 hits from death and you pop your health potion like, please save me, and then you still die and you're like, oh well, I just wasted 50 gold as well as gave up first blood.
Or you pop the health potion and then decide you're gonna back anyways, and then you're just like, well, that's awkward.
Yeah. Well, mid camp's going to be started as normal from these two teams. Have a quick look down the list. I mean, the one name that I recognise, obviously, I don't follow NA scene too much, apart from like SPL and obviously the Challenger Cup. Unique.
Yes.
One of the well-known player over there, going to be playing Nemesis in the jungle, so we'll see what he actually brings to the table. But I'm more interested in fairness because we've seen him before, as what his opposition do against him.
Yeah,
because it's a good opportunity for them to show off.
Yeah, exactly. And another very strong player that I've seen in sort of those amateur scene tournaments like Smite Central and things like that is Trauma Hunter. He's a very strong player, and I'm kind of interested to see what he's going to do against Moose.
Kali. Don't want to just stand there at the edge of the creeps and look for an opportunity. She was looking for an opportunity on Scylla, but the rotation from Unique came from behind. She should have known that was coming because, Osiris should have called that. At the same time, she should have noticed herself on the map.
I mean, that was kind of one of the things that Pecky's had talked about earlier there, was the Scylla definitely knew she was there, that the Kali was there, but was just like sitting not dead on staring. And so the Kali wasted a lot of time in some potential farm just sitting there.
Right. And it's just that
that's right.
You make them think they're at the advantage here, and clearly she wasn't. Something we did see too is a duo started speed. So Kali won't have that speed buff, but Unique, being the very strong player he is, does not have that extra farm to go steal away and get a longer speed buff.
Well, it's relatively even at the moment between the two. I like the fact that both mids are pretty much copying each other in terms of taking the back camp as well to get themselves to level 5. Carly should be hitting level 5 relatively soon, I suspect. No, actually, no, I'm lying. She's going to be not hitting 5 for a while. She needs to soak another wave in mid.
I wish that Acme...
Wow, Unique's already 5.
Yeah.
It's because he took that extra wave. He's going to duo, too. He's going to pressure them. Probably look for the speed. It's probably been called out that speed is down, but...
He's not wasting too much time here. He's not missing too much farm. Not quite yet. He should start...
There's nothing for him to do. So
Yeah.
He's just
hopefully come
unknown,
out to the lane.
So
That's what he's doing. He's off the map. They don't know where he is, and at the same time, he's waiting for this next wave to come in. This is his opportunity.
Kali died in mid too while we were looking at this. Let's take a look at this gank though.
Really
Athena's gone. She dashed the other way, but she's gonna fall. Yeah.
Minions.
OP.
Archers.
Let's take a look at.
Let's start playing mid.
Let's take a look at this.
Was
First
that a
blood.
2v1?
Yes, it
It was
was.
a 2v1, so that's pretty big for a player to be able to drift the X at level 4 Scylla.
Let's see if
Probably
he
just
pokes
hit
him out at
5.
all. Yeah, the Kali's just gonna soak up some mid XP. Let's see if he pokes him out. I think he just hits 5 and combos him.
Well, it must be the case because it looks like Kali's trying to get herself to level 5
I
as
think
quick as possible. Because
Oh, he jumps in.
oh wow, he went for the all in.
He just hit 5.
Oh,
I think he free ults him.
If she really,
Oh, that's good. That's pretty
really
hard to
smart.
hit.
It's not the fact that it's hard to hit. It's also realizing that she just used the jump as well, and she didn't have her ultimate.
Also the
available.
auto attacks. She waited until the Kali started auto attacking, which is going to slow her movement speed. Instantly ulted.
Right.
Big misplay from Devil of Deaths there, but at the same time it was really nice to play for Drifter
Yes.
to realize the opportunity he had. I like both the situations there, the Drifter blade there, and now it looks like Agni is trying to make amends for that, but he's going to get caught out himself.
Good dash. We'll keep him safe. He actually got a little bit lucky that he didn't get hit by that knockback of the Geb there. That would have
That was
been
that
bad.
was
Yeah,
dead.
he's not CC immune
definitely
anymore,
because
so he could be knocked back in the middle of his dash if he rolls dashes into the
Geb had
Geb.
Cataclysm. Geb had Cataclysm, so if he did hit that
Ooh,
knockback,
they
he was certain
both
death,
hogged
yeah.
there. A little bit of miscommunication. Athena and Kali hogged, but Right's already down, so it's fine.
Checking up with Hercules and Osiris. I mean, at the moment,
Same
Hercules
thing
has
as
gone
always.
He's going for the proper defensive build of the Rune Forge, as to be expected. Osiris, though, only went Death's Toll and Hog at the moment. I'm going to be interested to see what he goes into next as his next item. Will he just go for the boots?
Yeah.
No, he's going to go Rune Forge as well, so he's going to go for the Smithies. So the Death's Toll is going to help him push out this lane a little bit more. He has a technically harder time clearing the wave than Hercules because he's, mainly got to spam his auto attacks a little bit more. Hercules will just generally use the driving strike combo with the Earthbreaker to clear.
But he is
So I don't mind that too much.
he is a couple hundred gold ahead of the Hercules already.
This is true. Why is that though?
He's probably just out farming,
Should've
getting
went down
last
as
hits.
possible.
Last hits are actually incredibly
Yeah.
important. Not many people realize that. Let me find where it is. Here, minion kills. So the Osiris has 29 last hits. The Hercules has 21. Not too much, but I mean that's at least 100 gold worth of last hits there. 10.
Yeah.
So that's pretty significant. That can really turn the tide sometimes.
It should come back though, honestly, in Hercules' favor now that the driving strike's fully online.
Oh yeah.
He can
He should be able to full
full
clear.
wave.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, clear it no problem. So blue buff available on the left hand side of the map, and we've got Kali over here. I think Kali should be on the right hand side right now, soaking up the blue with the solo lane.
Well,
man sharing camps on the left.
Because
I'm
her
not sure about.
speed spawned at a different time, she was there, grabbed speed, leached away
That's
from
true.
duo, then went blue. I don't know about the
Okay,
leeching
that
away
makes more
from
sense.
duo. I don't know if she should have done that, but she was there for her speed since it's at an off time right now.
And she'll be back in time for the red buff, but this means that the blue buff's invadable by Unique here on this side. as
Herc should
well
just zone.
as,
Unique can do this
Hercules.
solo. Herc should just
He
be
can.
zoning.
Should be zoning.
I mean,
He's
that's a
not.
questionable ult. It could turn in his favor though. Unique has no dash. He's gonna die here. There's no way for him to get away. His dash is down. Ooh, great ult though.
Oh, the ult's going to save him, but Athena's coming in too. Now we got Kali on the backside trying to do work.
Oh,
Rift's
Unique
ult
barely
on
escaped
point,
that.
but a big jump. And it looks like the Scylla could go down. Oh, Scylla, nice escape again. And we know Scylla is Kali's target now as well. So keep an eye on that one. Kali.
Great play. That
Obviously,
was a
obviously-
great disengage by Red. They did a fantastic job. Gab rotated over there too with Athena down. Scylla's stayed too long though, and she's gonna not pay for it.
What? That shield was amazing as well as the Sentinel. And it looks like it'll be Carly that pays the price. Carly's
See.
dead.
No abilities for dash up in a second.
Carly's dead. Carly's dead.
It's gonna happen. We were waiting for it. It was gonna happen.
Eventually, it was happening.
Meanwhile, Trauma.
now-
Let's take a look at that. A lot of fights going on here. Yeah, let's take
Fast
a look
forward.
at.
Big fast forward. Gonna take a while to get to this fight.
All right, there we go. Let's watch the poke fight here. So Trauma Hunter is actually getting outpoked pretty hard here. Let's take a look. Stacks are about even. Stacks aren't really a big thing here. He's tanking the one archer, which actually is doing
was huge.
significant damage.
The
He
biggest part of
should.
that was the moves.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about that was the moves, because that knock-up just dispositioned him and did great damage to him. And he panicked, and that was a panic ultimate coming out from that Rama, and that's what gave Trauma the wave and the win on the fight. Really nicely played from him. I'm okay with that. I mean, that was a good decision from the Apollo. Apollo did well. He's pushed in, and look at the rotation from Apollo as well. That's a good play coming out from Trauma Hunter. He pushed a wave into tower, got a kill, and immediately rotates from one farm. Instead of trying to pressure that tower, he's not going to kill it in one minion wave. It's going to take him a little bit longer to be able to bring the tower down solely. So rotate, get some more farm online for yourself. I like that decision.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to take a tower early as a hunter, especially when he has no penetration right now. He doesn't have boots 3 completed. He's going to be hitting that tower for very little.
Yeah, he put maximum would have got it to half health instead. He's going to get back to lane, farm another wave out. Everyone's going to be fine and continue trying to bully this Rama. Could have gone back to base after getting those mid harpies though, in fairness, and still been back in wave.
He doesn't have enough to finish boots 2, and I don't think it's worth the back to get boots 1. So that's a decision. It could pay for it though here. Great mez though, right before the taunt comes out. He's just gonna keep farming up. So Trauma Hunter playing very well right now.
Yeah, Drama's in a very, very good spot at the moment. Unique's not done too bad for himself overall. He's managed to get himself out of some clutch situations. Look at Hercules against his Osiris. They're just beating down on each other. Hercules hasn't really played too bad in this lane matchup. I think some of his plays around that blue buff area, that little fight skirmish we saw, he did a good job of zoning actually to protect Unique, even though I think he could have protected Unique a little bit stronger than he did if he would have initially zoned out that Osiris from coming all the way in.
For sure. You're going to see the Osiris, Lord of the Afterlife. He should get out of this. I don't think they have the damage. All their abilities are down, and they're not tanky enough to really dive this tower yet. You also have to worry about the rotations, but it doesn't look like Agni was ready to rotate. Athena ult was up, though. I'm actually a little surprised we didn't see the Athena ult come out immediately as he got dove.
Well, Athena's trying to go aggressive at the taunt. She was very patient on that taunt. She actually chose Geb. She was trying to line them up. She was hoping Geb would come in range too, so she could do the double to make sure Geb...
Yeah, she could be a great ult combo. That was perfect.
Really big.
That was a
really
great
nice.
job by Drifter, holding the ult, waiting for the... He knew the Athena couldn't go anywhere. He just needed Geb to set it up for him. Okay.
Apollo coming in the back. Trauma. This could be a mistake from Trauma. He's Apollo. He's going to get away with it.
Yeah, the Geb tried to tank too long. I think there wasn't really a need for it. Took a little bit too much damage there. The idea was there where you want to tank for your Hunter, but still wasn't there.
And this should be a goal through. We'll watch this fight and just see how this one goes, because at the moment this one seems a little bit one-sided as it stands right now for Red Team's favour. But goal through is going to stand for the time being. Agri's trying to make a
Great
big play here.
That was a great dash.
Snipes! The snipes as well. That was backup of his team, really, to allow him to do that.
Yep.
The taunt coming out as well. I don't think they're going to find any more. His drift at the backside is going to... Carly's dead again, I think, on that situation. Looks like it will be.
I think her target is still Scylla. Scylla killed him twice, right? I think if that... no, because the targeter wasn't on her and she was low enough, I think. I'm not sure who Kali's target is.
So, standout plays for me from this one, from what I've really seen, honestly, I will say Drift Eggs on the Scylla in mid lane. He's played it really well, from my point of view. Managed to escape a couple of clutch situations, thanks to the help of Geb, who's another note that I would like to make. And Trauma Hunter as well. Trauma Hunter played very, very well in this solo lane. Sorry, in the duo lane. Most of the red team played pretty well this game. Across the way... Who would you say from blue team?
The Raw hasn't done too... I'd say probably... Bolcher has done the best. It's kind of hard though. His team's been behind for most of the most of the game, so he hasn't been able to really utilize his damage to the fullest.
He's still been, using his bomb stun to effectiveness. I mean, we saw in that last fight there at the Gold Fury, he hit the 3-man bomb stun, laid down a lot of damage, and then dashed through them, forcing them to disengage. And, they could have picked up a lot off of that, but unfortunately there wasn't much follow-up besides Agni.
Yeah, not bad plays from both the teams then. So they're going to be our pick out one. So this, the Scout's not available for this one, unfortunately, is the Scouts are already in another game looking over other ones. So that's why we won't be bringing you that one. But that's a nice rotation from that team. Tromahorn and Maypay with his life there. Moose did good work on that one. But nicely played from these two teams. And we'll move on to the next one with you guys shortly. We're just going to quickly load that one in and give you some information on the next one.